This is The Perfect Appearance, a Jessie Hunt psychological suspense, book number 29, written by Blake Pierce, narrated by Debbie Soelter. Prologue. Gemma Britton didn't see many new patients anymore. With the books and the morning show interviews and all her speaking engagements, it was hard enough to fit in time for her existing patients, much less accept new ones who might only be seeing her because of her celebrity status. She hadn't expected it to turn out this way, but an invitation 5 years ago to appear on a local morning newscast to discuss the on-set behavioral issues of a well-known actor had led to other offers from stations, all of which wanted a telegenic psychiatrist who could explain complicated psychological problems in straightforward language for a mass audience. The local TV hits turned into national ones. Suddenly, she was on the speaking circuit. She put out a book, working through it with Dr. Gemma, which ended up being a bestseller. That led to a follow-up, which was successful as well. It was all very exciting. But it became harder and harder to fit in time for the regular patients she'd seen for years. In fact, some recent criticism of her on social media had expressed that exact issue. As a result, she'd created a new policy. Every month, she would commit at least 40 hours to seeing patients, which admittedly amounted to only about 2 a day, but it kept her in the mix. She also made sure that one of those hours each month was for a new patient. If possible, she could keep them on her roster. If she didn't think they were a match, she would recommend another doctor to the new patient. And that first session was always pro bono. That's why she was currently in a session with Tyler Hartigan. His initial phone consultation had been intriguing. At 28, he had trouble establishing romantic relationships. In fact, he said he was a virgin, and not by choice. When he arrived at the office, she could hazard a preliminary, non-professional guess as to why. Tyler had long, shaggy brown hair that fell into his eyes, tinted glasses, and wore a Hawaiian shirt and brown corduroy trousers that looked about 50 years old. It was as if he was trying to appear uncool. In fact, she wasn't even sure if the hair was real or a wig. It was almost like he was wearing a disguise of some kind. He wouldn't be the first one. Some folks were so embarrassed about getting therapy that they felt they had to hide their true selves in order to reveal big truths. But in Tyler's case, his true looks were so hidden that she couldn't get any kind of read on him. Hell, he could be a neighbor of hers and she'd never recognize him in this getup. Her phone buzzed and she looked down. It was a text from her assistant.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?